Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan Lugo. Thanks so much for tuning in here today. We are talking about the Jaguars' defensive line injuries specifically. What should they do about those defensive line injuries? How is this all going to play out in Jacksonville with Foley, Fatukasi, and Devon Hamilton, 2/3 of their starting lineup on the defensive line in base, going down with injuries in Detroit last week? We'll dive into it first. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can also check out genjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear. The hat I'm wearing right now is now available up on the site. That's genjag.com/shop. Really appreciate y'all for tuning in and supporting us over on the shop. Now, as I mentioned, the Jaguars, we've talked about it a little bit here. They've suffered a rash of injuries lately, especially in the trenches on both sides of the ball. On the offensive line, though, for them, fortunately, and of course you don't want to see anyone get injured, but most of the players that have gone down over the last week or so, they kind of represent depth more than their frontline starting players, and you're looking at getting Ben Bartch back full go this week, so that's good for them. Obviously, he was a starter in 2022 at left guard. The rest of your starters, they're available, right? Walker Little and Cam Robinson both available, obviously, until the regular season starts for Cam Robinson. Then he'll have to serve his 4-game suspension. But you've got Ben Bartch coming back. You've got Luke Fortner at center. You've got Brandon Sheriff at right guard. And Anton Harrison, while dealing with the shoulder, he's still good to go. He's still ready to go. Just kind of a pain tolerance issue right now for Anton Harrison, a rookie that is going to be in the starting lineup at right tackle. But on the defensive line, that's where I think that there's a little bit more concern, or there should be a little bit more concern. Again, 2/3 of the Jaguars' starting defensive line and base went down with injuries last week, right? While Foley Fatukasi, he is expected back for the regular season. The boot was precautionary on his right foot. He's supposed to be good to go. He's supposed to get that boot off this week and be able to continue practicing and playing for the Jaguars again once the regular season starts. But there's no timetable for Devon Hamilton's return right now. He has a non-football related medical issue with his back, according to the Jaguars, and they are not giving a timetable. So, both of these players, they both can play some defensive tackle, some nose tackle, and some defensive end for you. They're both big. They have pretty good athleticism for their size, especially Devon Hamilton. And he was wrecking shop throughout the stretch in the 2022 season when the Jaguars defense kind of started playing a little bit better. Devon Hamilton was a catalyst for that. And then fast forward into the 2023 offseason training camp and preseason, and Devon Hamilton was looking excellent in this Jaguars defensive front. So it is concerning. You don't know when Devon Hamilton's coming back. Should the Jaguars look to bolster their ranks? I would say I really don't know, again, because I have no clue how long Devon Hamilton is expected to be out. I don't know if the Jaguars know how long he's expected to be out right now. But I will say this, if he is going to miss regular season games in 2023, which does kind of feel likely at this point considering the regular season is only a couple weeks away, I think the Jaguars should add to that front. Even if Doug Peterson, who's already talked to the media about this, says they're not going to add anyone at the moment, I think they should be looking. I absolutely think they should be looking. I've already been in on advocating for them, adding an outside linebacker / defensive end to the mix, like a Melvin Ingram, Carlos Dunlap, even Robert Quinn, if you wanted to go down that road. Hope you can find lightning in a bottle. A guy that set the Bears sack record 2 years ago, but he's up there in age, didn't have a very productive year last year. A little bit of a controversy going on with him being traded midseason, all that stuff. But I think there's some options out there if you want to bolster what you have with your pass rush. But looking at these specific injuries, Devon Hamilton, Foley Fatukasi. Again, I know Foley's supposed to be back. But I think if Devon is going to miss regular season time, you want to add some beef up there. I really do. And now, that's not me bashing what they have currently behind Devon Hamilton and Foley Fatukasi, right? I think that they could play at a respectable level up front without Devon. Between Jeremiah Ledbetter, Adam Gotsis, Raymond Vohasek, and Tyler Lacey, yeah, they do have talent. And Deshaun Dixon as well. They have some talent and some bodies to potentially figure things out. But you're looking at two of those guys are rookies, day 3 picks, Adam Gotsis has always been best in a rotational role. Jeremiah Ledbetter has never really stuck yet, even though he's playing very good football right now, and he's 29 years old. So I think you look at that, and sure, is it possible that those guys could get the job done? Absolutely. But I would make sure I'm good to go if I'm Trent Baalke, if I'm Doug Peterson. There's a lot of names out there on the free agent market right now on the interior of the defensive line that I think would not only upgrade the depth, but also just upgrade the overall talent level. And a lot of them are older players, but that's kind of what you're looking for at this point in the game, in training camp. Regular season's right around the corner. You've got Ndamukong Suh still out there. I think he would definitely upgrade things for you. Matt Ioannidis, I think, is really interesting. A guy who can definitely play the run and the pass from the interior. Played for Carolina. Linval Joseph is still out there. One of the biggest, nastiest interior defensive tackles you're ever going to see. Akeem Hicks still out there. Chris Wormley, if he's healthy, he would definitely upgrade what you've got. Heck, Tyson Alualu is still available. I know the Jaguars tried to bring him in here a couple years ago. Didn't quite work out. But I think they have options if they want to pursue any sort of interior defensive line, defensive tackle, defensive end depth that could come in and play for you immediately. I think there's guys out there that could do that. I would bring in a low-budget insurance plan that would upgrade the depth and the overall talent level, and I'd still add a veteran edge, as I've mentioned many times. Now, I would not blame the Jaguars if they want to save some of this cap space for a potential in-season trade. Like you get a few games into the season, and you're like, we could really use X player at X spot. That could put us over the top this year, and just kind of see how things play out up until that point. I could see that working out. You saw it work out for the Jaguars back in 2017 with Marcel Darius. They were just kind of one piece away on that defensive front. He came in and kind of changed everything for that run defense. But I don't think signing a veteran at either of those spots, edge or interior defensive line, or both, is really going to prohibit your ability to make an in-season trade for the most part. So that's kind of where I stand on that. Now, if the Jaguars, if they want to wait till roster cutdown day, I'd understand that too, because you're definitely going to get some talent on the market that day. Over 1,100 players being cut that day. There's going to be some talent that could come in and help you out. I would understand that, but the longer you wait, the more potential there is for some of the guys that are available right now to no longer be available. Other teams, signing them, adding them to their rosters. So, again, don't know the timetable for Devon Hamilton's return. The Jags won't give one. I don't think they have one right now. Hamilton's injury, pretty scary stuff with the back, non-football related. We know Foley Fatukasi has been dealing with lower body injuries the last 2 years heading into the regular season. So I think even if he is expected to be ready for the regular season, it's one of those things that can kind of linger around that you kind of worry, how effective will he be? Will he be at his very best? Because when Foley Fatukasi is at his best, he's a very effective interior defensive lineman. But when he's hampered with injuries, you've seen his play slip off a little bit at times. So for me, I'd definitely be looking to bolster this group. And this is, again, not me bashing what they have. I like the guys they have. I really do like Adam Gotsis as a rotational player. I really like what I've seen from Jeremiah Ledbetter this year. I really like the two rookies and Tyler Lacey and Raymond Bohasic, and I like Deshaun Dixon. But heaven forbid, if one of those guys, the veterans, Jeremiah Ledbetter, Adam Gotsis went down, then what do you do? I think you should be prepared. I would leave no stone unturned if I was the Jaguars in regards to the defensive front. Depth along the offensive and defensive line is critical in this league. You're going to sustain injuries. The Jaguars are seeing that right now. I would leave no stone unturned. I would make sure that I have everything I need going into this regular season, where you're not just trying to make the playoffs again. You're trying to win it all. You're trying to bring home the first Lombardi Trophy in Jaguars history, make it to the first Super Bowl in Jaguars history. So I think just making sure you have the depth along the offensive and defensive line is about as critical as it gets if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let me know what you think. You can hit me up on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Hit that like and subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss a show. And again, if you want this hat I'm wearing, go check out ginjag.com/shop. Pick it up. Limited quantities are available and they are ready to ship right now. No pre-order period for these. You order them, they're shipped that day or the very next day. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. Y'all have a good one.